Hi, it's Michelle. Welcome back to my channel. I'm going to be doing a unbagging video with books that I have received in the mail and also a little haul of some books that I found at the Goodwill. The books that I'm going to be unbagging came from a viewer. They wanted to send me some books that they really love, and they wanted to have me read them so that they could hear what I thought about them, which I thought was really sweet. I think that's very thoughtful to take so much time to think about what your favorite books are and to find them and send them to someone. I just thought that was really very nice. So thank you. You know who you are. And there is 4 books in here. Oh, I see. It's got a little receipt from the store that they came from. Okay, so the first one, I like this cover. Bradbury Dandelion Wine, the Grandmaster Editions. And this is by Ray Bradbury. Oh, I see. That's Bradbury, and then the book is Dandelion Wine. Okay. I'm such a nerd, right? So it's Dandelion Wine by Ray Bradbury. It says, the summer of 28 was a vintage season for a growing boy, a summer of green apples, mowed lawns, and new sneakers. Hey, Marty, they're trying to listen to me. Half-burnt firecrackers, of gathering dandelions, of Grandma's belly-busting dinner. It was a summer of sorrows and marvels and gold-fuzzed bees, a magical, timeless summer in the life of a 12-year-old boy named Douglas Spaulding, remembered forever by the incomparable Ray Bradbury. Wow, that sounds like it could be a really fun book. Never mind the fact that there's black cats on it. I think Marty really approves. Do you approve? This book looks and sounds like it's going to feel like being in a hammock or something. It just sounds so comforting and wonderful, and it sounds like the kind of book that will just be so cozy in the sense of reminding me of the things I loved as a child. Maybe there's more to it than that too, but it just sounds really good. The next book is also by Ray Bradbury. Something Wicked This Way Comes. The incomparable masterwork of the dark fantastic. Look at that cool image. Oh, Marty, stop. So is this like, okay, so it's a merry-go-round and there's a boy on it. Isn't that cool? By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. The carnival rolls in sometime after midnight, ushering in Halloween a week early. The shrill siren song of a calliope beckons to all with a seductive promise of dreams and youth regained. In this season of dying, Cougar and Dark's Pandemonium Shadow Show has come to Greentown, Illinois, to destroy every life touched by its strange and sinister mystery. 2 boys will discover the secrets of its smoke, mazes, and mirrors. 2 friends who will soon know all too well the heavy cost of wishes and the stuff of nightmare. Wow. For those who still dream and remember, for those yet to experience the hypnotic power of its dark poetry, step inside. The show is about to begin. Wow, that sounds really good. It kind of, in a way, sounds like, who wrote that? Was it Dean Koontz? I think it was Dean Koontz. There's this movie, or this book called, I think it was Funhouse, and it was the first scary book I ever, like the first book that scared me that I ever read, and this kind of sounds like that. And I'm all about it. I am all for it. I'm really excited to read this one because it sounds kind of creepy. The next book is Raymond Chandler, Farewell, My Lovely. Marlowe's about to give up on a completely routine case when he finds himself in the wrong place at the right time to get caught up in a murder that leads to a ring of jewel thieves, another murder, a fortune teller, a couple more murders, and more corruption than your average graveyard. Then it says, Chandler wrote as if pain hurt and life mattered. Wow. As if pain hurt and life mattered. So very realistic, I would say. So this one is a vintage crime novel. I'm really liking this selection. It's very diverse in what kinds of books it is. And I feel like the person that bought these kind of knows me a little bit better than they might think they do. Of course, I guess you do get to know YouTubers after a while, don't you? Watching enough of their videos and such. Okay, and the next one, this is a book that I've always wanted to read and have not read. So this is a very nice treat. Ernest Hemingway, The Old Man and the Sea. Have you read this? And if you did, let me know what you think in the comments, of course. The Old Man and the Sea is one of Hemingway's most enduring works. Told in the language of great simplicity and power, it is the story of an old Cuban fisherman, down on his luck, and his supreme ordeal. A relentless, agonizing battle with a giant marlin far out in the Gulf Stream. Here Hemingway recasts, in strikingly contemporary style, the classic theme of courage in the face of defeat, of personal triumph won from loss. Written in 1952, this hugely successful novella confirmed his power and presence in the literary world and played a large part in his winning the 1954 Nobel Prize for Literature. Oh wow, I didn't know that he wrote these other books. He also wrote The Sun Also Rises, A Farewell to Arms, For Whom the Bell Tolls. Wow. I know those are all very good movies that I haven't watched in a long time. So there you go. Thank you so much. I really appreciate these books, and I'm very excited to get a chance to read them. To the person that sent these to me, I will email you when I'm done with each book so that we can talk about them. What you thought, what I thought, that kind of thing. I think that'd be fun. What are you doing, Marty? Marty likes this package that it came in. You like the bag? You're so cute. And then the other books that I wanted to tell you about, I think I mentioned they're from the Goodwill. The day that I got these, the pink books were half off. So I did not spend very much on any of these books. So what I spent $165 on each of them. The first one is The Package by Sharon Dunn, which is an Annie's Attic mystery. When Annie and her trusted handyman, Wally, stumble upon a mysterious package that had slipped behind an old dresser in the attic of Grey Gables, they are unwittingly swept into a mystery of intrigue, masked identities, and personal danger, only because they were trying to find the source of some pesky mice who were chewing on the house's wiring. Did they move around the furniture and boxes that her grandmother had stored in the attic? Now, with the package in hand, what should Annie do with it? Finding the rightful owner becomes a quest that reveals some long-held Secrets in Stony Point. Secrets that trigger greed and violence. Meanwhile, Mary Beth, an owner of A Stitch in Time, the local needlecraft shop in Stony Point, Maine, persuades the members of the Hook and Needle Club to work with some high school teens to teach them the fine art of needlecrafts. Annie dives into the project and arranges for the teens and their teachers to join with some seniors at Seaside Hills Assisted Living to make layouts for newborns at the local hospital. This experience of intergenerational cooperation opens the hearts of all the participants and opens the eyes of the residents of Stony Point to seize opportunities that promote tolerance and understanding. But can the teens and the seniors help Annie and her hunt for the rightful owner of the package? Follow Annie as she unravels this mystery and receives some interesting and frightening visitors to her grandparents' home, Grey Gables. I just thought that sounded pretty interesting. There's something so enticing about an old attic. I wish I had an old attic that I could go through of one of my ancestors, but I don't. The copyright for this book is in 2010. Oh, I should tell you the other books. I'm so sorry. I didn't even think about that for some reason. The Old Man and the Sea was originally published in 1952. Farewell, My Lovely was 1940. Something Wicked This Way Comes, 1962. Dandelion Wine, 1946. Then I got Erich Maria Remarque, I don't know, A Time to Love and a Time to Die. Here's the cover. And I also paid $165 for this. And it's a little beat up, but I don't mind that, actually, with older books especially. It's got deckled edges, you guys. And here is what the naked book looks like. This book was a Book of the Month Club selection. No way. Book of the Month was out. How long has Book of the Month been around? Could this be the same one? No way, right? Or maybe it is. At a certain moment in this story, Ernst and Elizabeth are eating supper in the garden of an inn. Lentil soup, salad, and beer. The garden is quiet and green and undamaged. They are very happy. And Ernest says to Elizabeth, "This is the way people used to live all the time." Of the many notes sounded in this symphony of love and death, this may well be the one that stays longest in the reader's mind. For Ernst and Elizabeth, the lovers of the story, ask, by extraordinary standards, very little of life. All they ask is to be quietly together. Ernst is a German soldier on 3 weeks furlough from the Eastern Front. At the time when that front is crumbling in the months after Stalingrad. He has been pushed through France, has seen victory and defeat in Africa, and hope interminably deferred in Russia. He is tired of war. What he wants is to return to the quiet of his parents' house in a city he pictures as unseared by war. To return so that he may have a chance to think, to try to understand. He could not have imagined this city as he finds it, nor could he have imagined his meeting with Elizabeth. Into the dwindling days of his furlough, these two contrive to crowd the community, gaiety, and domesticity of years of marriage. Like all true lovers, they create between the dead past and the indecipherable future the ecstasy of their own here and now. That they succeed in doing so in the midst of total war is evidence of the human spirit's power to deny total defeat. And it sounds like it's either really good or really boring. It's probably really good. But what if this is the same book of the month? Is that possible, though? Has it been around that long? Because this book was, let's see, the copyright for this book is 1954. Now I want to know when Book of the Month was founded. And the last book that I got was also $1.65, and that is Beethoven, His Spiritual Development by J.W.N. Sullivan. And this one, oh, it also has deckled edges. It must be old because the original price was $3.95. I've never known hardback books to be anywhere near that cheap. Isn't that a pretty book, though? Even if I don't read it, just for looks alone in a library, it would be nice. But I think I am going to read it. What is the point of buying a book if you're not going to read it, right? I mean, at least if you're like us and you love books. This book was published in 1964. Clifton Fadiman, in a broadcast with the Boston Symphony Orchestra, said of Beethoven, His Spiritual Development, "For some weeks I have been waiting patiently for a chance to talk about a book which I should see read by a few million music lovers. It is the most interesting book on music that I have ever read, and it is not written for musical experts, rather for people like myself who like to listen to music but can boast no special knowledge of it. It deals not only with music, on which I do not speak with authority, but with human life in general, about which you and I speak with authority every day of our lives. What is this book about? It is about the spiritual development of Beethoven and the essential nature of great music. The author, J.W.N. Sullivan, believed, to quote his own words, that the function of music as great as Beethoven's is to communicate valuable spiritual states which testify to the depth of the artist's nature and to the quality of his experience of life. For Sullivan, the clues to Beethoven are to be found in his realization of suffering and of the heroism of achievement. His finest work, therefore, actually tells us something to the ultimate character of life, just as great philosophy does, as Hamlet does, or King Lear. Tchaikovsky once said, "Music is no illusion, but rather a revelation." That is what Sullivan believes. For him, certainly the music of the last years of Beethoven is not a mere consolation. It is not a pleasant drug, not a delusion, but a way of sending a message drawn from the deepest levels of human experience. J.W.N. Sullivan, the son of a poor Irish sailor, was born in 1886. He died in 1937 in England. He was not a musician, but a mathematician with great gifts, which were never quite realized. And I should like to think that his book on Beethoven will preserve his name. I was wrong. This edition was printed in the 1960s, but the book actually has a copyright of 1927. Look at how beautiful, though, the font in here is. And it's got this fun detail at the top of each chapter. Very nice looking book. The page numbers. It's interesting how much detail used to be in things that isn't now. Not just books, but architecture, furniture, you name it. So I have a lot of books to read. I'm going to put these all up here so that I can put them down in my TBR bookcase now that I have shown the books to you and told you what they are about. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night. And thank you again to the person that sent me the books. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to read them. Happy reading. Bye.